don't feel none of y'all pain. Y'all ain't take none of these risks. I don't feel none of y'all made the decisions I made to be real with this shit. I don't trust none of y'all motives.
So about the media
company, man. So like that's the long game. That's long term. So we got the podcast, and then we want to highlight stories that track with the podcast content, right? So like black stuff, black politics, black life.
Right.
A lot of it from a black male perspective.
One day. That'd be a game changer.
That's the long game, bro.
Let's do it.
Motion picture. You know the vibe.
I don't feel none of y'all pain. Y'all ain't take none of these risks. I don't feel none of y'all made the decisions I made to be real with this shit. I don't trust none of y'all motives. I know you lacking the code.
Since D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation in 1915, the black male image has been under assault. There is one thing that does not exist, and it needs to exist. Black male media by black men for black men.
I disrespect you respectfully, girl. Humbly, nah, respectfully.
I take no particular pride or pleasure in doing shows like this because I know it triggers certain black women. I know they do. I know some of them get pissed. I've heard women on YouTube saying things that they don't watch the show end to end. And I'm not going to, and that's not going to change anything because there are far more women and far women who are listening. And who are the recipients? The women who listen end to end and are saying, well, you've changed my life. You've helped me look at this way or that way. Those women are benefiting. And guarantee when those women come into contact with men doing something, they all benefit. We're better off working with each other, trying to understand one another. You know, none of us are perfect. Certainly not me. I ain't shit. I got a lot of problems. It's like anybody else. We all got issues. But just like Ice Cube, when the brother steps up to do something, support. Find ways to support. Even if you have an issue with something it's doing, can you find 4 or 5 things about it that you like before you start off with the one thing you don't like? Because you cannot keep painting black men in this ain't shit box. They don't all fit there. And brothers are starting to push back and say, no, 51% of us are single and childless and 64% in the middle class. They're here. Can you interact with them just in a peaceful, civil way? If you never get married and never have kids, can you have a higher quality of life? Can you just be happy? Can you stop walking through life with your hands up ready to fight the reflection of you, the opposite sex reflection of you? I don't walk through life looking at black women as though they're my enemy. And I would hope that for the black women who this applies, you stop walking through life assuming that black men are somebody to challenge, somebody to overcome, to struggle against. We don't need that.
Word to mother, that might be the realest talk, yo. I mean, that encapsulates everything that he represents. You know what I'm saying? And is that so wrong? Is it though?
I mean, apparently it is.
And all he's doing is holding up a mirror at women and men, because he did it to men first. You know, he's like, man, wash your ass.
Side of it. He did it to men first, and nobody cared. Nobody cared.
He was all like, man, wash your ass, put your cologne on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stand tall, dress, pull your pants up. He was telling you all these things first.
And the thing is, he was just as disrespectful, inflammatory, harsh with men. But like I said, with men, nobody cares.
No,
like you could tell a man, I don't even fuck what you doing. Get over it. I don't care what happened to you. I don't care, nigga, what you got shot in the face. Who cares? You get shot in the face every day.
Every day, my G.
So you can say that to men, and nobody cares. It's like, oh, that sounds about right. But the second you say anything even close, right, to women,
and that's,
this guy, He's a beast.
and that's exactly what ended up happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Like as soon as he held that mirror, he was all like, "Oh, you want this? Okay, so what are you? You know what I'm saying? What do you rate yourself? How do you see yourself in real life?"
Yep.
And then when they told him exactly how they see themselves, when they're going around here and they don't have anything going on for them, and to be able to attract a man, right? Nothing except the things that they heard in the echo chamber that makes them powerful, makes them
Right.
clean. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be strong. I'm not saying that, nothing wrong with that. But you're also out in this world trying to attract men. You know what I'm saying? You don't attract men by telling me how strong you are. I'm sorry.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And the other side of the strong conversation is something that's a branding and a marketing thing, bro. Like the only demographic of women that they push this strong, independent, alone, nobody to help you, nobody to support you, no man that can stand in your way of making whatever decision you want to make. The only demographic of women they push that to is black women. Black women,
that's crazy.
We are the only community that has been attacked enough and destroyed enough that are so dysfunctional at this point that our women would actually embrace that.
Yeah, bro.
Like, what other woman is going to be like, I want to be independent. I want to be by myself. I don't want no man around to help. I don't need no man. Like, no,
I don't need no man. I got 11 dogs. What are you talking about?
What I need a grown man for? For what? You know, so like that's the only women they can get away with that with is our women, unfortunately, and that's basically because a lot of us, I mean, they've done a pretty good job of destroying us. So, you know what I mean, so like,
bro, it's so insane.
Yeah.
But
all right. So look, let me just get. I'm about to let Marvin in. Marvin just came in. I think Marvin might have skipped out on that because I did tell him early in the week. I was like, "Yo, we gotta chat with him about Ken Sams." So I think Marvin might have got
a little apprehensive.
Huh?
He might have been a little apprehensive.
Yeah, he might have.
A little gun shy.
A little hesitant. A little hesitant.
No Paul Pierce with it.
Right. Oh man. But yo, so Marvin, we were actually talking about one of your favorite subjects right before you came on, yo.
Money?
You talking about paper? Because if you ain't talking about paper, nigga.
Paper, it don't make no sense, baby.
Now we talking about Kevin Sams, man.
Yeah.
Yo said.
About how, so one thing that I was saying about Kevin Samuels is a couple of guys.
Be careful, because you know age be listening.
No. What I'm saying is a couple of guys I've seen have been like real life fanboys, right?
Okay.
So this dude was saying,
like content creators.
No, it's been like guys online been like, I mean, look, a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
Whereas though they treat it as if their father died, and it's like, you just like my father, and it's like, yo, hold on, bro, like, yo, bro, chill, man.
So give me an example.
Like, one of my men on Facebook, he was like, you know, Kevin Samuels passed away. You know what I'm saying? You know, while I ain't agree with, by him just saying I ain't agree, they came in, oh, you're a beta male softy, whatever. You everything Kevin Samuels was saying.
Let me get it straight. So he was saying, so the guy that posted it was saying that he didn't agree with what Kevin Samuels was saying, and then he got attacked.
Yeah, and then he got attacked.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Yo, y'all grown men out here, and y'all acting like this dude was like your father."
Right.
Like, it's one thing to agree with. I mean, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, but you ain't gotta be like why would you attack another black man because he don't agree with some of the stuff he said? He never said that. Yo, I don't agree with
what
that.
did he say? Did he say, yo, all that Kevin Samuel stuff is trash? Or was he just saying like,
Nah.
there were certain things I didn't agree with? And
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the man has some good points, but I just don't agree with everything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Which
So,
is
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a measured response to when somebody passed away that you might not agree with everything that they said. But when it just took a real negative turn for like 6 comments, the dude was killing him. Like talking about, I mean, you soft, you beta ass nigga. They're like, wow. Like, yo, y'all getting out of hand with this one.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Unless they knew brother personally, I don't understand.
Yeah, they linked on him like that. What these his friends?
They were friends. He was like, yo, niggas is showing themselves.
Oh, okay, so maybe
could be a deeper, darker criminal link there, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Do you know him?
I know the dude that was being attacked. Yeah.
Okay, so does he give you any of those vibes?
Nah.
Okay.
Yo, the dude is like, yo, the dude's solid. Like he's a solid dude. And he was just like, yo, I just got a different opinion. And this dude, I mean, he posted what the guy was saying on his page. He was like, yo, look at this. But respectfully, he kept his name out of it. He's posted. I'm like, yo, the dude still respects you. He could have flamed him, but like, yo, go to this nigga page.
He posted stuff that Kevin Samuel said that he doesn't agree with.
No. He posted the back and forwards conversation from the fan and him. So it's like, if you try to wow me out, I just repost the conversation talking about the conversation. Like, yo, look what Thomas said about me, and he said this, he said that, but he didn't put your name in. Like, my man was.
So you saying the one that got attacked reposted?
Yeah.
Like, yo, look at what they said.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So, yeah, that's wild. But I did have a situation. So in that group, yeah.
But yeah, like
you got a lot of. So Marvin was basically saying like his man said, "Oh, I don't agree with everything he said, but I wouldn't wish death on anybody."
Yeah. Which is like, all right, cool. You don't have to agree with everything you said, but you know what's so crazy? People would feel the need to speak on things that they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. I'm pretty sure that same guy probably never ever watched a complete episode of anything he had, put out. Probably a few clips here and there, heard a little bit of the more sassy, more spicy, clips or whatever the case may be, but don't really have a general idea of what his particular mission was. And that's what's so sad about a lot of these people that have a lot to say about, them not agreeing with what he had to say, or they don't like how he gave it up. But there's a reason why he gave it up the way that he did. There's a reason why people called in every single night. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a reason why they call it healing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because he do help people. Like the brother did help people. He helped people get structured in a particular way. Help you
he would have
things out, keep you motivated. You know what I'm saying?
He would have women call in and be like, yo, you saved my marriage. And he would have men call in and say that, yo, you really got me to tighten up.
Yeah. I mean, it's really just a person that's just holding you accountable. And that goes to show you can't do that. And I don't want to say crazy, but sometimes our sisters, they do not want to be told that they need to be held accountable. They don't want to be told necessarily especially by a black man, because I feel like somewhere down the line they lost trust in someone. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a reality that's hard to face, but they did, and that's why they feel like they're in direct competition with us, which is unfortunate too. So now, how are you supposed to trust the competition? That's probably, I think they probably look at it. You know what I'm saying? And when somebody going at you telling you, shorty, why you think that you're going to get this and you bring this to the table, they don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't want to hear that.
And just, look, at the end of the day, we all know where it comes from. I mean, it's a lot of women have been through trauma and been abandoned. They got abandonment issues with men. whether it be men in their family, men they've been in relationships with, their fathers, so on and so forth. So a lot of it comes from that. And you can typically tell.
That's cool, but that's not every man's fault either. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not making excuses for it, but I'm saying we know where it comes from, you know. So it's like
true story.
And the end result, well, not the end result, but a result of that is a lot of times they don't know how to. They will never. They don't know how to defer to a man. They don't know how to. I don't want to use the word yield, but if you have somebody that you know you have respect for, and they're giving you some pushback, healthy pushback. Even when it's healthy, a lot of times they don't even know how to yield to that or defer to that. You know, and that all comes from, just like you said, they lost trust with black men at some point. You know, but and then that leaves a lot of husbands. That leaves a lot of husbands and significant others, boyfriends, whatever. That leaves us to kind of pick up the pieces of that. And then we dealing with that.
Exactly. Because we all got our own traumas, you know.
Right.
And then all misdirections that we all had to go through in life, you know.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate thing is that we all go through the same traumas, but a lot of them are expecting us for us to fix their trauma. And that's and that's not how it works.
Yeah. And men do the same thing. Men do expect women to
especially now.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Especially now. But I think that's just because, you know, we all know why.
Right.
The disappearance of the black father.
Yep.
You know.
Which a lot of people don't realize it, man. I didn't even find this out until I was in my 30s, man. I mean, I'm still in my 30s, but I was in my like early 30s when I found this out. I might have been after 35. But anyway, a lot of people know this, but the absence of the black father, if you look at a chart of the black household and the rise of single parent households or like fatherless households, if you look at a chart and you know, like it has the lines, right? In the 1960s, the single parent household line, boom, it goes on this different trajectory, right?
That's what your boy she be talking about,
two-parent households plummet, just for black people though.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when most people talk about black households, they talk about us like we've never had fathers in that. Like they'll say, I've even heard stuff when I was coming up saying, "Oh, well, slavery really traumatized us and really just crippled our households." And then I see these statistics, and I'm like, "Wait, hold up. We were still together after slavery for like another century and a half."
Exactly. And it's so crazy. It's crazy you say that, right? 80% of all the black people, all the black men in jail come from single parent homes. 80%, my G.
Yep.
So just think about that.
Yeah. You know, so it's a very convenient statistic.
Yeah.
For the people that are invested in the poverty and the dysfunction of black households, right? It's a very convenient situation for them.
Yeah. And so it looks like they systematically did this. They were like, all right, like we're gonna pull the black father out, right? Now we're gonna have the mom resent the fact that the black father's not in the home anymore. And now she's gonna tell her children, we don't need them. Fuck them. We don't need no father. So now you got these women that's getting raised up without no father, talking about how they don't need no man in their life. And you got these boys that are being raised extraordinarily feminine. I mean, have you ever noticed how tight the jeans are nowadays? You ever notice how colorful these dreads are nowadays? Yeah, I'm telling you.
You even got quote unquote gangsters that are very feminine these days.
Yo, Young Thug alone bruh, brother was wearing dresses, bro.
So
calling people husband and whatnot, bruh.
But you know what? And honestly, when you talk about feminine, I mean, this might be kind of controversial, but I don't want to get into like the feminine, like as far as like mannerisms and stuff like that, because we already know what that is. But when you talk about men being raised by women and how they have very like feminine or female approaches to things, that goes beyond just mannerisms. You start that when you get into that conversation, you're talking about how you approach situations, how you interact with people, how you problem solve, how you deal with, conflict, right? You got a lot of emotional ass dudes out here, right?
Exactly.
The thing is, men are held to a different standard, especially black men, are held to a different standard in society when it comes to consequences for not having control over your emotions.
Exactly.
If a man does not have control over his emotions, there's a certain
he becomes violent.
He will be met with violence. He will be met with violence. He will be met with unemployment because his ass will be fired. He will be met with incarceration. He will be met with suspension. He will be met with all kinds of hard consequences, right?
Yep.
And so when you've grown up seeing women operate that way, and it's like, oh, it works fine for them.
Yeah.
Right? I can do the same thing.
Yes.
Right? And then you find out the hard way, like,
it don't work like that.
It don't work that way.
For you. It ain't for you, bro.
It ain't for you.
But obviously, and that is why it's so dangerous. You know what I'm saying? That we speak against people that are trying to talk about, masculinity in the absence thereof. You know what I mean? It's so necessary that we have to have that contrast. We have to have balance. Look, it's cool. Women can be as powerful as they need to be. I am not going to sit here and try to downgrade any woman's power, but there needs to be contrast. There needs to be, some line of like, men should be allowed to be men. You know what I'm saying? And be able to help cultivate other men to know how to be men and stop being so soft all the time.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like that's what Kevin was really getting to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Speaking to how far left we have gone.
Then you got to be careful.
Gone too far.
Then you got to be careful because people will say, somebody like Young Thug, they'll say, because it's all a perspective of what soft is to you, right? So like, you can have a nigga that's super emotional and quote unquote soft, but that's the reason why he will pop you. Right? That's the reason why he will be like, man.
Yo,
right? So you got it's all a matter of what your perspective is on what's soft, because
I feel you. Because I mean, they go both ways. You either got the one guy that's gonna shoot you because he's soft, or you got the one dude that's gonna jump in your girl DM because he's too soft.
Right.
You dig what I'm telling you? And that's a direct result of men being raised without fathers. Because then you can honestly see.
Bro,
haven't you knocked down
real quick
before? Hold on, what'd you say?
I was saying, the thing about Kevin Samuels that I don't get about the narrative is that how come nobody talks about what his plan was? Is he wanted to put the black family back together. He wanted that was his reason for being, was to put the black family back together. So
but
why is that not in the conversation?
We actually started off. We actually started off the pod, because Marvin, you weren't on yet, but we actually started off this episode playing. I played a clip from Kevin Samuels, and that was the focus of the clip.
Yeah, the mission statement, more or less.
Yeah, and
right.
Since he passed, because I didn't really watch a lot of Kevin Samuels, so I've seen clips, right?
Me either.
Yeah, so I've seen clips, and I've probably watched.
I hate to say that I was actually a fan, and I actually tuned in and watched that whole episode. I feel like a lame right now. I ain't gonna hold you.
No. I don't get it twisted. But no, nigga, we can tell that you watched. But no, so look. what I'm saying is this. I'm not saying that I never. So for me, whenever I tried to watch, like, all right, let me put it like this. I saw clips of Kevin Samuels, and I was like, wow, who is this? This is some shit we need to hear. Right? And this is some shit that women definitely need to hear. Right?
Yeah.
But then when I went and actually started watching or tried to watch like whole episodes, it wasn't really enjoyable for me because I just would get frustrated just hearing these women call in and say just the I'm like, duh. I've heard women talk this way, right? When I was really outside, and you know, I'm outside in the DC area, so it's a lot of professional, you know, quote unquote modern women, right? And these are conversations that would really annoy me. So like, I can't sit and listen to this shit for an hour of just different women calling in, just talking crazy. You know, and then Kevin Samuels would get to the point where he just gets so frustrated. He just like, he would be like, look, shut up, listen to what I'm saying, stop cutting me off, you goofy broad, right? So like, you know, like, and to me, it's like I can only listen to that but so much. So but pretty much I got the thesis of what he was going for in the clips that I saw, and I was like, all right, I support it. Now later on, I saw clips of, because you know, people take like these extreme clips, take them out of context. They don't play the whole interview. They take them out of context, and then they'll be like, "Look at what he said," right? And he had a habit of leaning in on some of his more inflammatory or offensive ideologies, right? And a part of that, I feel like I said before, was because it went viral, and so he's like, "Look, this is going to get me more views." So, but people would take those clips and they would just be like, "Oh, look at this," and then that would be representative of Kevin Samuels for people that never saw his content, right? And so I think that happened a lot, just like you said earlier. But for me, it was like, "Oh, I heard everything I need to hear. I banged with him because I heard a lot of his stuff." And then he would do videos specifically for black men. And he'd be like, "Look, you're in these white collar spaces," because he was in like the think like biotech. He was doing something in like the STEM.
He was in like the telecom field.
Well, he got into that later. He got into that later. At first, he was in the STEM space. So he was in these different circles where black men typically don't exist, and he would make videos. Like I saw a video after he died. I've been getting a lot of videos that I never saw before, but like earlier before we even knew about him, he would do videos. Like I saw one, he was coming from an event where a white woman, he was in a tux, and a white woman at the event, because he worked for the company that was sponsoring the event, but he wasn't working the event. He was an employee of, like he was a corporate employee. And one of the white women at the event asked him she was like some CEO's or CFO's husband or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, could you get me a drink?" Right? Because she thought he was part of the wait staff, right? Even though he's wearing a tux and he's at this event. And so she ended up having to apologize to him. But once he left the event, he went in the car and he said he did a whole video on black men, you belong here, right?
Yeah.
Like, so stop being scared to enter certain rooms. Stop being scared to make certain demands. Stop being scared, right? So like, that's the kind of thing he was on.
Yeah,
right? It's like when you see stuff like that, it's like, okay, I support it. I like where he's going with this. He's holding everybody accountable. He doesn't cut any shorts. I don't care if you're a woman, man, whatever. I don't care. He gives it up the same way. So at that point, I was like, I rock with him, but I couldn't sit down and look because I cannot listen to these women. No, I can't listen to these women, yo.
No, that shit is crazy though. I mean, some of them would sound really, really out there. So I can understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, I can't do it, bro. And some of it would be funny.
Right?
I can watch clips. I can watch clips and be like, "Yo, she wilding," or he killed her.
But a whole show.
Yeah, I can't.
And his shows are like 2 hours, 3 hours long sometimes. He live streams a lot too. So like, you know what I mean? Because people actually call in, so those shows can be very long.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, long as people get the understanding and get the message, man, that's all that really matters. It speaks to the impact that he has, that you actually have, now real media speaking about his death at this point.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It speaks to the impact. Like it's so funny that like I actually had a conversation with somebody that we all know on Facebook. Me and Trevor, Tommy.
Oh yeah, Trevor. Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to Trevor on there, and he posted.
Trevor probably didn't even know about Kevin Samuels until he died. Trevor don't be knowing about none of this shit.
He really not tuned in. He's really not tuned in.
Trevor be like, it'd be artists that I've been listening to for like a year. Trevor be like, who this clown ass nigga, yo? I'm like, Trevor, it's Conway from Griselda. You never heard of him? And then he'll go and listen to it and be like, oh, you right, yo, shorty hard. I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I only been listening to him for the last 4 years.
Right.
Fool.
Anyway, go ahead. What you about to say?
But he spoke on this. He posted talking about as he passed away, and I said, hey, man, he may be gone, but as long as his message, lives on forever, you'll forever be missed. That's what I said. I'm something along those lines. And then he was all like, come on, bro. He had his little 15 minutes of fame. And I'm all like, check it, bro. I mean, bro, been doing this he's been famous for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's deeper than rap. You know what I mean? I'm talking about message. I'm not saying that anybody needs to make a statue for my man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because that's
playing it right in the middle of Atlanta. I'm not saying none of that.
If that was gonna happen, if it would happen anywhere, it would happen in Atlanta.
It probably would.
So Atlanta is one of the goofiest. All right, let me stop. It's real niggas in Atlanta, but we gotta keep it a buck. It's a lot of goofy energy.
There's some shifty business out there sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lot of goofy energy in Atlanta. But anyway.
A lot of shifty business going on out there.
Did you see what Jamal Bryant said about him?
Man, I'm so disappointed in Jamal.
Y'all.
I mean,
and they're in the same frat. That's crazy. They're in the same frat though, so that's
what I don't understand is that
realize that
they both Kappas.
Oh word.
They both Kappa.
Yo, he a phony ass nigga, yo.
Yeah, he the worst.
Like, come on, fam. That's your frat brother.
Yeah, he's super for that. Yeah. Well, I mean, but a lot of them frat niggas be faking.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. All right,
Joe.